Hey everyone, welcome to week 6. This week we are going to be finishing up your digital storytelling projects as well as completing a discussion board posting on a case study. And also, before I get into talking about the digital story and the discussion posting, I would like to remind you to check in with me about your tech club experience. I'm just kind of curious where everyone is, how things are going, and if you have any questions for me. So if you check your D2L email, you'll see that I sent you an email earlier in week 5, and so just reply to me and let me know how things are going. And I'll give you some more information about how to wrap up that experience. Okay, but moving on to week 6, your big project for this week is to finish up your digital storytelling project. And so you'll be completing this project and then submitting it to me on Monday. And submitting it might be one of the bigger hurdles in the project itself. It's going to be really important for you to submit it in a format that is going to work on both your computer and my computer. If you're on an Apple computer, you should be exporting or sharing your movie into an MP4, MPV, or movie file format. If it's not in one of those formats, it won't work, and I won't be able to grade it and see it. If you're on a Windows computer, you can share it or publish it in a WMV format, and that'll work fine too. Another thing you can do if you're having a lot of trouble, something I actually usually do this as just a good backup, just in case my computer crashes or something, is to upload it onto YouTube, your video. That's really easy to do. And if you have questions about that, just let me know. But that's another option, is to upload it to YouTube and then share it with me that way. If you set it as private, then you will be the only person who can see it, unless you also share it with me. And so you'll see on here it says to share it with your instructor, Nick Lux at Gmail. Don't bother sharing it with Nick. Share it with me at my Gmail email, which is megan.e.keenan@gmail.com. Please use the Gmail and not the D2L if you're going to do it that way. And just if you are going to do that, if you're having a lot of trouble uploading, just let me know. Get in touch with me through email, and then we'll figure out the best way for you to go about it. But I do want to remind you to persevere through the sharing it to D2L or putting it in the Dropbox, because if you just don't give up, then don't trip at the finish line. Just make sure you push through and get that in the correct format. It can be a little tricky, but I know you can do it. And then there's another component of this. You are going to be completing a contextual analysis blog posting, and so you'll be putting it on the same blog as you put your field placement reflections, the same one. You don't have to create a new blog or anything like that. And this will look a little bit like a lesson plan, but you are definitely not required to complete a true lengthy lesson plan. It's just kind of to give it a little educational foundation. And so in this blog posting, you're going to include at least one Montana State standard, and if applicable, a Common Core standard that you think could go with this movie that you've created. So you're imagining that you're creating this movie as an example to use in your future classroom for a lesson that you want the students to complete a similar movie. And so think of a standard that's going to go along with this. And then building off of that standard, come up with one learning objective that this potential project or lesson could hypothetically address. So you will need at least one standard and at least one learning objective. And then beyond that, you are required to provide a one-paragraph description of how you would use this digital story in your lesson. Like, what's your idea? How would you use this? How does it make sense in your classroom? And then this is very open. You can come up with however you want to use it. It's really open, so don't feel boxed in by anything. You can kind of go out there and get experimental with it. But just make sure you have those 3 components in your blog. The Montana Standard or Common Core Standard, one or the other, one learning objective, and then a descriptive paragraph as well. Okay, moving on. You are all pretty good with the discussion board assignments. You all have the format down pretty well. You're just going to continue to work on it in the same way you have been all season, semester, session long. And there's a case study this week. So go ahead and read the case study, answer the discussion questions at the bottom of the case study, and then make sure you get that one additional question from the syllabus. If you're having trouble finding those, I can show it to you again if you just send me an email. But they're pretty easy to find. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think that's pretty much it. You all are good and rolling. You're all in good places right now. Just keep it up. You're almost done. Only a couple weeks left. And definitely let me know if you have any questions with the digital storytelling project. That, I think, is the most complicated thing we do in this summer session. And so the earlier you get into contact with me if you're having issues, the better. If you wait right until the last minute and you're emailing me on Sunday night for help, I might not be available to help you. So make sure you're asking your questions if you have them. And that's pretty much it. I hope you guys are having a great summer so far. It's been really nice. And thanks.